Why, hello there, my fellow animal handlers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, The Darkest Ages. Episode 28. A Little Pen for the Little Porcers. Well, in fear of waking Ginger up early and then further pissing her off, I'll queue up a trade. Here we go. They do have a Great Wolf. Great Wolf's trainability, I think, is advanced. It would be a similar benefit like Serenity offered. However, I think I am going to make the distinction that the Imperial Red Hound is like a dog, granted a really old one in Serenity's case. But I think the distinction is like Great Wolves are like monsters to us, and therefore it's not something that we're going to add to our ranks. We're supposed to be fighting monsters, and, well, one can easily make the argument that Great Wolves happen to be monsters. So we'll sell our red tier and dismiss. There really wasn't much there, unfortunately. Did I try to toggle on and off the allowed new gas? Yeah, they're allowed. They're not refused. It doesn't mean that they, like, show up immediately. They show up when they want to show up. But there's nothing physically stopping them from arriving, as far as I know. Barbarno wants to be rescued. He says he's guarded by 15 subjects. Yeah, friend, I don't think that we can handle that. Even if I abuse, like, map edges. I think you're on your own, bud. Frozen Depth, thank you for the resub. Alright. Outside of here, I will keep, actually, we should put a sign for the stables there. And then maybe here, we'll keep, wood. I'll just copy the other. Because we might, if it gets particularly cold, we might need to, heat the stables with firewood. So we'll keep wood nearby, also for that torch. And then, once that torch is built, the light range will allow us to build, like, a slightly greater roof area. Anywhere that is illuminated, I will roof up. I just don't want to roof up areas that are unilluminated. There we go. The horse stable sign. And the fence really only requires a few more links, and we'll be set. Thrumbo. I don't think we can handle hunt thrumbos. We would find ourselves on the wrong end of that hunt quickly. It also might make sense to like, keep the ducks from going down here. Or horses, for that matter. So, whoa. That was weird. Why did I see them? Seems like a bug. I should not have had vision on them, but whatever. No, thrumbos are here. Slotus, thank you for the resub. Okay, we're up to 3,000 wood. I stopped the cutting, right? Yeah, okay. Because that's a lot of wood. Also, I have no idea why I allowed to re-sow the fields. That's my mistake. Really, I didn't think that was allowed, but I will turn it off now. Because it's more than likely, I mean, it's 15th of September. Like, it's not growing season, and it's not about to become growing season, so there's completely no point in putting crops in the ground. They're just going to die. Alright. The barn is done. There is a few finishing touches, and then, of course, we still have to make the one for the porcupine. So, finishing touches. Furniture. We're going to want animal sleeping boxes, which are not big enough for horses, but big enough for ducks. What I think I'll do is I'll put the ducks on the far end. I have, what, 8 of them? 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, not there. Because the other thing I wanted to put in here is the egg laying box. I'll put an A box there. And a box there. And then the other half of this is we want space for our porcupines. But when the I think what I'll do is the drakes, when we have enough female ducks, will live in here. I'm going to set this up to for the drake housing as well, which means the cloth walls, because drakes can't pass through you know, doors. And then something like this. And it's going to be a little messy, but something like gate, fence, and this allows the drake's grazing area. The other thing is, for the farm, it might make sense for me to... Alright, let's not allow them there. It might make sense for me to have a road or flagstone that goes down this way. Just so that we can move about the farm a little bit faster. Movement speed is kind of a big deal. So, this is the other barn project. And it's a little intensive, but I don't think it's terrible. You're not just going to eat the ducks I don't need? No, because it's not really a net. It's the amount of meat I'm going to get from, like, allowing, like, ducklings to mature is probably a net negative of calories for the grazing that they will incur. It's just not worth it. God, what can I do for her? I mean, her rec needs are hard to meet. No, actually, that's not true. She's not bored of them. Maybe dedicated rec time in the morning. We'll see if that has a positive effect. Because I don't really need her going crazy. I do like the concept that, like, a low granite fence is enough to keep ducks contained. It's like, dudes, ducks fly. Like, that doesn't work like that, but whatever. Just RimWorld being RimWorld. Alright, another thing I wanted in here is, I think for now, because I only have so much hay grass, I'm gonna put, hay grass on the ground, like this. When I have more, I can, like, put it on a shelf, but shelves allow 3 times the amount, and I don't have that much to be stockpiled on the ground, right? I have less than a shelf's worth, so we're just gonna have to keep it on the ground. And that's supplemental food because I don't think their grazing has enough, right? It's already telling me the growth versus consumption mismatch, so we'll correct for that. Add a fence gate to the farm to make the ponds go faster. Actually, you know what? Let's build it here. That makes sense. So it's a straight line, too. I'll need to modify the priority for the egg box. Unfertilized eggs are allowed in here. Fertilized eggs are not. I think what I'll do... Do I have any fertilized eggs? I do. I'm going to keep the fertilized eggs. Here, maybe? What is their temperature? I think they'll be fine in here with the temperature as it is. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Wow, that flapping is going to get annoying. I know they don't have a lot of room, but my god. Now, how's research? Artificial limbs? Going pretty well. We're getting close. Anomalous research for electro harvesters, almost 2/3. And then another thing we're going to need in here once this is done is a pen marker for male ducks. So we're keeping the female ducks and the male ducks separate. So if we want to breed them, we can put them together, and if we want to not and have unfertilized eggs for food, we can keep them separate. I mentioned this maybe at the start of this whole series a long time ago, but there's a new mechanic in RimWorld 1.6 where once upon a time when you temperature spoiled fertilized eggs, they would just rot. And now when you temperature spoil fertilized eggs, i.e. freeze fertilized eggs, they just become unfertilized and they become usable. So it's a lot easier to keep your egg layers together where you don't have to like separate them for fertilized eggs or unfertilized eggs. And then just like freeze the fertilized eggs because it doesn't matter because they'll just turn to unfertilized eggs. However, I don't have a freezer. So the risk if I did that was I would just get a bunch of ducklings hatching in my refrigerator because my refrigerator is not frozen, or my kitchen rather is not frozen most of the year. Another inspired tame. Well, it is too bad that you don't have the taming skills for a thrumbo because boy, that would be a hell of a thing to tame. But their animal requirement is 10 and you're at a 6. So you could tame bison again, I guess? And it looks like we have some critters out there that need shooting. I'm a little hesitant to go active hunt during fog, though, because we're at a big disadvantage if we fog fight. Where do those fertilized eggs go? Oh, they became unfertilized because it got too cold. Okay, to that end, let's see if a single campfire is warm enough for them. That's the exact mechanic I was referring to. The unfertilized eggs then become food. Or the fertilized eggs, when they freeze, become food. Where is the eggs then? Okay, no, they're not there. Oh, no, they could be. I don't know what's in there. Because I need to physically... Yep, okay. Fog! Yes, that's a thing. Interesting that there was eggs on the ground and I didn't even know it. Build the pork pen is my current priority. This is not a hangout spot. Once the fog ends, I'll clear out the wildlife that I'm not comfortable living near. And sorry, bison. Shouldn't have trusted me. It's terrible. Wildlife. Do we have... Nope. No porcupines. I'll hunt the ibex. I'll just have to keep an eye on the predators out here. So grizzly bear to the northeast and timber wolf to the northeast. Cougar to the southwest, where the ibex are. Okay, don't hunt the ibex until it's not foggy, because I don't want you going near the cougar. Been there, done that, suffer the consequences. Isn't that, like, almost identically where the last approach sprout is? I don't know why, storyteller's like, here's a bunch of drugs. It's like he knows that I'm about to get pummeled by horrible monstrosities or something. He's like, well, you'll need to pick me up soon, so here you go. I am relatively surprised that the farm hasn't died off yet. It stayed above freezing. I think I have a growing zone I don't know. I have 2 growing zones I don't know about. I try to name all my growing zones, and when you do, you... Because I don't want to be growing, like, random potatoes out in the wilderness that I have no clue about. I don't see any obvious signs of a nested growing zone. How'd they get out? Did someone prop open the door? You have one job. Don't let them out. It's still foggy. Fog, go away. Uh-oh. Got some vom time. Incompetent cook. My 2 cooks is a 14 and an 11. I don't really know. If that's not competent, I don't know what is. Would a search function work for the growing zones? No. It doesn't work for zoning. I've seen a mod where you can, like, click a growing zone and there's, like, arrows to tab between them, kind of like how you have, you know, the tab between pawns with a period and comma. But I'm not entirely sure how to tab through the growing zones. I mean, the only way I can think of is, like, to shrink zone, and, like, it highlights in a way that I can see them. That's a really crude method. Or a mod that, like, highlights your zoning. Yeah, I don't see any growing zones that ought not to be there. And the reason why this bothers me is, like, my stockpile zones, for instance, this is stockpile 2, so I do have a stockpile, a default stockpile 1 somewhere that is misnamed or not named or something. Probably right here. Yes. Fert. Eggs. Same with dumping, right? If this is dumping zone 1, it means all the other dumping zones are named. But if this is growing zone 3, it means I have 2 other growing zones that are unnamed. I.e. growing zones that I am not managing correctly. There was one island on the left. You have better eyes than I. Is it right here? Ah! I found that without even the shrink. Oh, and here's the other one. And the reason why this matters is, like, The amount of effort for a grower to go out here and like sow one frickin' potato and then harvest one potato, stupid, right? A complete waste of time. So it doesn't seem like a big problem, but like that's spending hours like on random days, like running all the way out to the end of nowhere to like get one stupid potato. So it's worth cleaning up. All right, for Vita Mortis and Dom, they eat hay, right? You're hay eaters. Seeds, live, I'm assuming. No, it doesn't say kibble, seeds, meals, plants, live plants. They don't eat hay? Who eats hay? Good animal feed, and I don't... Well, there's one way to figure this out. So... And then they're probably small enough for sleeping boxes. The ducks were eating the hay? Yeah. You can see when the nutrition stockpile, that's counting the hay that's in there. Wait, where? No. Don't do that. Animals. None. Get out of there. So the new animal zone, not that I necessarily need to restrict the porcupine's movement because they can go wherever they want, but I'll put them in the pen because I built them a pen, might as well use the pen. That's where the porcupines go. Mysterious cargo. No. I think that that's probably a golden cube, so no thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. Alright. The pen, both of them are done. Awesome. Next project to build. Ranch being removed. We've got workshop, bridge, defenses, brewery, holding cells, laboratory, alchemy lab, guest lodging, which would be like individual beds, tomb, ritual room, hospital, and improved plumbing and bathrooms. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick save and load just to see if I can't like jumpstart the guest lodging, because like it does seem reasonable given how much time has passed that it might be frozen or like not working. We have all these free beds, and it's attractive, and they're welcome, and they're just not showing up. Look at all the couriers. Building up our supply of granite. Lovely. Well, it's night, but in the morning I'll try to clear out more of the predators. We've had a problem with predators, so I'll make the effort. More food poisoning. And that just happened to hit the person in our community that is the most upset all the time. 'Cause of course it would. So if you haven't voted yet, I'll give you one more minute to vote. Looks like Alchemy Lab is the leading option, but there's still time to vote. And I decided to just spruce up the quarry a little bit so that we can move about more easily. Yeah, hunt in the morning? I intended to. Now, the other thing is I need to make sure that the hunters are not... Okay, there's no food poisoning risk among the hunters, because that was my concern. I didn't need them to go limp over to the predators and subsequently like vomit and die. Animal herder came in. So an animal herder might be an opportunity for us to actually acquire some horses or something similar to horses. Take a look once they're in the base. They're showing up with yaks, a bison, and an alpaca. Technically, you can ride alpacas. I think? No, did they not have a caravan? I thought they were... No, I guess they're not big enough. They're a pack animal, though. Oh well, I'll just keep looking for horses. So we still have a cougar in the southwest that'll hunt in a minute. Also, we are low on uranium, so it might be good to mine here and here, getting access to easier access to the uranium down there, so we can have more uranium-based armor and the like. Feels like a stronghold. It should. It is. I mean, that's what we're trying to build. The Dread Fort in the Dread Forest. Alright, Ginger. You are still food poisoning. That probably means you don't have good trade price improvement. No, that's pretty bad. 4.2. Who is the next best person to do this? Maybe... Klein? What is your trade price improvement? 7.5. Alright, that's better. So, you go trade with Dead Yecker. That's a name. Yeah, the ibex are now huntable. True. So I don't want yaks and bison. I'm just gonna sell the male ducks. Like, I'll keep 2 of them, but instead of butchering them, we'll just sell them. Why not? I'll buy hay. Maybe? Yeah, I'll buy hay. Because then I can part with leathers that I don't foresee using in the near future for big bucks. That looks pretty good. I like that trade. Now we have a lot more hay and fewer mouths to feed, so that will get stretched better. Awesome. Alright, Team Alchemy Lab, you have been victorious. So, what is... Alchemy Lab is like a workshop, I think. So if we go to production, a fueled draft lab would be... We have one, right? Yeah, here it is. Uranium. Why did I make it out of uranium? I don't remember. But these things make different alchemical things. And I think it makes sense. I know I keep saying this, but I think I'm going to put it up here. Meaning that I'm going to move my water. And the reason is I want the alchemy lab to be near where we plant crops. So I can put the water tower in there, right on top of the steam geyser. We'll imagine that it works like that. It doesn't actually heat it up. So we're gonna move our water source, and then I'll probably end up I'm gonna move where the wind pumps are as well. And then we have this space here, which I'll probably just double all up the geyser, and we'll build the alchemy lab in there. It doesn't need to be big. But yeah, that ought to work. Maybe I'll even pick a different spot for the turbines. I mean, I have a lot of this stone down here, and we have the plumbing coming all the way here. So yeah, I'll have a different place for the turbines. And that way we'll have a larger alchemy lab. There's not really any reason not to utilize the area in here for turbines. This is kind of like a dead zone anyway, so we'll hook it up like that. I'll leave that in for now, so that all the extra turbines will rapidly fill up this water tower. What is that? Oh, that's what wolfskin looks like? Okay. Oh, before I forget, fertilized area. We're going to remove this area. I'm not yet convinced that they eat the hay. We'll see if their malnourishment keeps climbing. They're not, pennable, so that doesn't calculate their nutritional needs, unlike the ducks. Winter solstice opportunity. I would say the most serious injury we have is the missing kidney, so I don't really need to remove anyone's limbs in order to try to like regrow a limb back. So we'll trigger that solstice opportunity in just a minute. So that's going to be ready. No, winter solstice. Oh, I need an effigy flag. Yes. Nothing like an effigy flag in the middle of a wooden structure. What could go wrong? I could put sarcophagi in here, yeah. And I had said that, like, if you did vote for Tomb, I would do that. Just hasn't been voted on, so I haven't done it yet. I'm walling up the steam geyser because there's really nothing I can do with steam. It's going to be a little weird that it just like out plumes within our building. Plus the flooring is going to look wrong, but whatever. Okay, the flag is in. As soon as this water tower is built, I'm going to do the solstice and then keep working on oh no, don't do that. finish it. This thing is filling up quick, and then once this has like a decent amount of liters in it, I will get rid of the old one. It's in the way. And we can do a transfer tank to help fill this one up faster. Yes, a lot faster. Perfect. All right, solstice time. So we have almost maximum quality. We're just missing 2 participants. And again, a reminder of our ideology. There's a chance, a 10 or 30% chance, if it is fun or unforgettable, we get some miracle healing, where the worst injury of the participants gets cured through divine intervention. It was fun, but no divine intervention. Well, I tried. Also not a gather spot. I keep catching them. Being in the wrong place. Alright, let's update the priority. Build an alchemy lab. Now, paired with the alchemy lab will be probably some dedicated crop plots for specifically alchemy. I think for the aesthetics, I'm gonna like really cover up the steam geyser. I'm just gonna completely fill in the area because it's I don't like that like broken up soil. Didn't mention divine intervention in the letter last time. It didn't, at least. It did. I just like ignored it. If it wasn't that one, it was. Well, I could check health, I guess. Oh, yeah. Kidney is still destroyed, and scars are still scarred. Maybe dev out the hole. I'm not gonna bother. I've already done that once here. I don't want to just continue cheating. At some point, it's just cheating. You can think of this area here if you'd like. I could even put a door on it. You can think of this area here as like a shot tower for lead shot for our arquebuses. Once upon a time, in order to form drops of lead, they would just like drop it in a shot tower, and it would like form, and they would drop it in the water or whatever. I'm not exactly sure of the process because I'm not a metallurgist from the 1700s or 1600s. But I do know about drop towers, and you can think of this shaft as a drop tower for our arquebuses if you want. And if we are allowing a space for it, I might as well just remove the roof. So we'll have the geyser be able to do its geyser thing. All right. I feel like I've transferred enough water. This one's got, it's over half filled. So I'll destroy the old tower, and then we'll build the alchemy in here. So I can go this far. Got it. That should be enough space. Doesn't need a big door. Little wooden door is fine. I'm not going to take up all the space. This is fine. And we'll build it in here. Works for me. Hey, Zen. Yes. Oh, RimWorld indeed. We are RimWorlding. And welcome. Thank you for the resub. Alchemy lab. If there was ever a building that really does truly require non-flammable floors, it would be an alchemy lab. So we'll hook that up appropriately. Oh, I cut the water, didn't I? Yes. Fixing that. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow knights.